Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to talk about The Haunting in Modern Warfare 3, which is the last event as part of this game's DLC cycle, and I gotta admit, the developers have really been cooking with this one. This last batch of DLC is incredibly fun. It's a top-notch Halloween event. A lot of YouTubers have covered a lot of aspects of this, but today I want to talk about the deep cuts of The Haunting. We're going to be talking about the Trick or Treat skin, quite a lot about the Terrifier skin. I'm going to talk about these movies a little bit and how they relate to Call of Duty's broader marketing strategy, and then just show off some funny moments at the end where we're executing people and literally clowning around. So in case you didn't see, Art the Clown from the Terrifier series has been added to Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, probably the most intimidating skin in either game, because if you're familiar with the movies, you know how violent they are. The Terrifier movies are actually so gnarly, I have not been able to watch them in their entirety without getting sick. I watched about half of part 1 and about a third of part 2. I think I checked out at that horrible pouring bleach in wounds kind of skin. Finished watching the rest and plot summary and clips and stuff on YouTube, so I've seen most of the movies, but I can't sit through the full 2.5 hours of slaughter. Now, what makes this unusual for Call of Duty that usually does big budget tie-ins with movies like Dune or The Boys or something like that is that both of the Terrifier movies had a budget of less than $300K between both films. The first one was like 50 and the second one was about 250. The same thing is kind of true of the Trick or Treat series. It was an independent film that was almost lost, ignored for years, but has come back as a cult classic. But the Terrifier films weirdly got a theatrical release for the second one, which shockingly earned about $16 million on a $250K budget, and they've rapidly become known as being amongst the most violent and gory films ever made. They're very extreme, about 2.5 hours of unrelenting splatter or splatter comedy, depending on your disposition, and we're talking just brutal torture of people peeling back their skin, pouring salt in the wounds, quite literally, breaking bones, a saw scene that goes on, a literal with a saw scene that goes on for way too long, and shooting children in the face with assault rifles. That's what the Terrifier films are about. And one of the most valid criticisms I've seen of them is that they do tend to glorify violence against women. Men in the Terrifier films tend to die quickly. Women tend to get tortured and brutalized. And I didn't really think a lot of these movies, but another YouTuber that I watch called Nick Spheres had a summary of it saying that Art the Clown was a deliberate name. It's not for Arthur, it's Art, in that he is art, the subjective medium of experience, and the director is ultimately trying to say that there doesn't have to be an ulterior or artistic or lofty message for something to be art. It can be art by itself subjectively, just so long as it entertains, and the splatter is entertaining. Many of the people describe these movies as being so violent that they come back around again on being funny, like Doom or Warhammer. Some people are really into that. So then I would ask, after talking about horror movies for a few minutes, why would Call of Duty put something like this in their game? Something that's known for being among the most gory, violent, brutal, NC-17 rated, upsetting movies of this decade. Well, Call of Duty is uniquely situated as an R-rated game that still has mass appeal. Its base is also spread over about 2 decades of play and does trend to be a little bit older than other gaming audiences. And they have a need to appeal to an edgier crowd. This is also kind of the firearms crowd. A lot of Call of Duty games influence gun sales, and new guns influence Call of Duty games, and back and forth. So needless to say, we have a very mature audience here, and that means that Activision and the Call of Duty team doesn't have to worry so much about being accused of promoting violent behavior to children. That's why I think Call of Duty has been able to do crossovers with The Boys, which is basically NC-17 and bordering on hentai in some scenes. They also did Dread, if I'm not mistaken. The Hellsing one was really wild because it's from the Hellsing Ultimate anime. Dune, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Saw, tons more that I'm forgetting about. But the point is that it's a game that's genuinely doing a lot of R and kind of closer to NC-17 rated crossovers. And the only other gaming franchise I can think of that's willing to take risks like this is Dead by Daylight, but that's a horror franchise, so that kind of, makes sense. In the past, I've criticized Call of Duty for moving away from the names, the real names of weapons. We don't have an MP5, we have a KTAC-10 or some sort of imaginary name for it every year. And I initially thought that that was because they wanted to avoid a licensing fee from the companies, and then later I was told that it was done to comply with growing regulatory pressure about promoting gun violence to children. And if I'm not mistaken, I think California may have a very specific law dealing with this as well. So for a while now, incorrectly and perhaps foolishly, I've been thinking that Call of Duty is a somewhat reserved game in terms of content. Maybe they're on the weenie team. They can go kind of like soft R, but not push it too hard. But not paying attention to the crossovers, as I haven't been buying a lot of microtransactions and then taking a look back, I realized that that's not reflective of reality. Call of Duty is actually one of a very few games out there going balls out and taking huge risks with adult crossovers. Again, like The Boys, which is a very controversial show. A lot of other games wouldn't touch that. And more recently, they've been doing this for independent films, for anime, for comics, for a lot of the stuff that I like, which is only supporting independent artists. And I just gotta say, good on you, Call of Duty. I've been pretty critical on COD here, but I think they deserve some praise here for being very flexible with their crossovers and giving their older, edgier, more mature audience exactly what they want, which is what they did for me this Halloween by pulling in some really shocking, like, independent film characters to straight up put in Warzone and multiplayer. I found it very fun, and I hope that next Halloween, or even over the cycle of Black Ops 6 in the next couple of years, that they continue to do this, that they continue to pull in the real big boy skins, some independent ones, some R-rated ones, some surprising ones, some cult ones. I'm all here for it. I think they've done a great job. And without any further ado, we're going to cut over to just me having a little bit of fun playing a clown. You know, I thought when I pointed my gun at a person and pulled the trigger and shot a whole bunch of times that they might actually die. What in the... I think I'm about to get a stun up. Oh.
I don't know how this works, to be honest.
Can't execute these guys, I guess.
Looks like that's just a normal zombie.
Are we in mutation?
Yeah, there's just random ass zombies. How is this supposed to work?
Oh, are you sure this isn't Hoardpoint?
I think it might be Hoardpoint.
You're gonna get to see how they ruined Hoardpoint from World War II.
Yeah, you don't get any points.
I do love shooting people into birds, though. That's very satisfying. Whoa, this guy's a dog.
That guy was invisible. What the fuck?
There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on.
I have no idea what's going on.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Why is this guy a
Turn
dog?
into birds!
Just put down the dog like an AT. Oh, I just killed myself.
Friendly remote turret deployed. Enemies inside the perimeter.
Why am I dying? Something is hitting me that's I can't see. Oh god, it was coming out of the ground. Just been killing zombies like right and left here.
Remote turret ready.
I don't even have my kill streaks bound.
Hardpoint relocated. Stand by.
Well, this guy can go invisible. He's getting stronger. No.
Man, I don't know if it switched teams or what.
Brother, how much HP do they have?
Quite a lot.
Like 3 shotguns in them. Shotgun shells.
It's like a ghost on the map. It's like full spam shotgun here.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint.
Oh, I'm sorry, friend. These guys don't have guns, do they?
No, they just melee you.
Comes a ghost.
Oh, he can EMP you. Okay.
I feel like I'm properly playing like old Halo Infection now. We'll see.
How does this work?
Oh, Mutilated Reaper. Charge.
Target area located. Secure the hardpoint.
I'm gonna play as
Oh,
a
I
Reaper.
could self-destruct.
Perimeter. Hardpoint
Does it take 2
relocating.
melee kills to
Stand
kill
by.
somebody? Can you drown as a zombie?
Oh no,
Answer's
I'm
no.
the flamey boy right now though. I don't know if Drift's seen that.
I'm not.
Like the doggo?
What do I get for killing people?
This flamethrower juggernaut that I'm in.
How many do you got to get? Oh, I see. 3 out of 5. Alright, cool. I got 1 more to go. I got to get somebody.
I got the flamethrower juggernaut.
Yes, yes, yes. It's actually really fun. I'm having a blast with this.
Stand by. Enemies inside the perimeter.
Flamethrower juggernaut kind of sucks.
Finish it.
Oh, I finally died. Alright, so I can call it now? Yes, I can.
I just burned him in the water because that makes sense.
Oh, I love that it plays the music. That's so satisfying.
Copyrighted music.
Not a lot of damage on this thing.
No, it's not really good.
I mean, I'm still alive on it.
I'm like
I should
charging
put
their
out a-
spawn. Plenty of health, though.
Yeah, this has a lot of health.
I definitely found the mode that's for me.
If you want shenanigans, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Just a little bit of fun. That's all I was going for this whole time.
They're leaving the game.
We're bad. Alright guys, that's all for this short Halloween themed video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had some fun. I hope on the off chance you learned something useful, and if you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.